greetings. Thank you for joining us. It's a quiet night. The cats are sleeping. They're 24-hour day sleep, so they can drive me crazy tomorrow. We're in the middle of the night for that matter. All right, so tonight is the Phoenicians, Khazarians. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. Khazarians, ancient Illuminati race, also Lemurian. So those that are running our reality is connected to these guys. The Khazarians are connected to Germany, Nazi, all the good stuff. Yeah. So I think, I don't know if Albert Einstein is connected to them. I think so. Karl Marx, something like that. There's not much on these guys. I never heard of them. So I'm just going to connect to their energy. They're like Arabic, warlords, but yeah, ancient Atlantis. Of course, Atlantis has been erased from history, but they have these tribes that, the Phoenicians and Khazarians, if I can pronounce that right, kind of rule, bankers, they just have all success somehow, and they're running things, so keeping themselves hidden, of course, for now at least. Elite time travelers. So I was connected to their energies. I felt time traveling energies and also timeline creators. So to say this is kind of all about them to a certain level. So I'm just going to do I do what I can for the channeling, or I'll tap into it, but then I'll bring in somebody for this. This is a little bit, lovely. They change stuff here. Yeah, they've been changing stuff. I can't get into Twitter right now. Because usually I broadcast on Twitter. It's livetalk.com. We have private sessions at the shop here. I'm on the 9th, I think. Maybe. Same situation here, the webinar. Social network, behind the scenes, and university. I'll be uploading that tomorrow if I have any energy. I have no energy right now. So Phoenicians, whatever you call them, Phoenicians. I'm just gonna butcher everything. Yeah, they do give like an ancient Illuminati energy. Phoenicians do. Obviously, there's not much known about them other than they, I don't know the whole history. I don't know any history, actually. I did something about them before, but they just, part of the Arab world. I believe it's other parts of the world. Well, either way, I'm going to combine these two together because I believe they both work together. So I'm just going to do a regular connection there. So they wanted to hide behind the white man, use that as their, puppet, as they did other things behind the scenes, like have all the gold and just kind of run the system. Once again, create timelines that we're on today. So they had a broad view of how they're going to do this. They've been conquering. Feels like they have been. Different nations, it might not be in history, but they've done some of that. But then they felt like they needed to go behind the scenes. No surprise. Like, let their group die out. But in truth, they're architecting our reality from, obviously the past. And they had a wide view. From what I pick up, they can see the future. Always they can, they know what kind of future they want to create. And 10, 20 years in the future, however, how many people are really doing that during that time? So they're stealing from people, getting whatever they can, resources, the smart people to do what they're bidding. as we are today. They run the prison systems, of course. Um, so the prison systems are basically enemies, they're enemies. So it's not really a real, obviously, it's not a real system right now. It's just those people that are enemies of the elite, really, when it comes down to it. Obviously, they don't care if criminals are around because they have their own group that has a criminal energy, such as Ted Bundy comes to mind. Is the serial killer is basically, has a elitist mentality. So, well, connected to that energy. That's just oh god. I mean, that's the public version of the elite. At least that one. Uh, yeah, they don't really care what they're obviously doing to society, but they feel like they're the most powerful ones. So they're the kind of like the chosen ones. But yeah, they're obviously the link to the queen and the link to, of course, yeah, doing plagues, like disease is really their thing. So they can get people kind of out of their element, so they can control them. So they're also part of spells being created. I mean, they can't shut down everything as they'd like it to. I mean, the esoteric, spells and all this, they have to keep all that going. The magic, they have to keep that, because that's what they work with. So they can't just. I mean, I believe they want to hide all of this. They want to hide every. I mean, they're hidden, but they want to hide everything. I mean, a lot of the psychic connections, all that. They want to shut all of it down, obviously, because they don't want to be detected. No, so the Phoenicians, there's different, obvious Atlantean energy, but also have a corrupt Palladian energy connected to them, also. Well, the corrupt Palladian energy is to come off all pretty and all kind, put on a show for the people. Yeah, this I obviously can't go by history very often, but they're not always wrong. So yeah, just Phoenicians are there to take energy from people, give it to themselves. And anyway, sacrifice works perfectly. Famine works even better. They're just basically into death and destruction, but they don't want to destroy themselves, of course. They do connect to the chakras of the earth and have damaged it. Well, they're making it difficult for people to come in here, as you know, childbirth. And also finding somebody. It sounds strange, but the elite play a big role in all of that. And I hate to just blame them for everything, but they do play a role in a lot of the confusion that's here. They don't want people incarnating here. They're just themselves. Maybe a couple of slaves everywhere, but they don't need all these people. You've heard that before. Let's see. The elite time travel is time traveling. They see the future. Always projections of it. Not the whole thing completely. Um, and the timeline energy to create that obviously is a god side of them. Well, they feel like they can control the destiny of other people, which is kind of messed up. I mean, obviously they've been doing it through the Khazarians for a long time, but yeah, Phoenicians had to go quiet. It feels like they had to either be defeated or they just didn't want all this attention anymore. When they made their mark, they got people scared of them. And so just integrating with society is better. So obviously there's an Atlantean plague going on. Once again, genetic engineering, of course, that's tapping into their higher self, at least the elite. They just not care. They lose empathy to not care about anything. So it's actually a skill he's learned, or they have learned. So not to give a shit about anybody. Why the elite feel like they're gods and all that? Just somebody has to do it. And like the symbolism in Washington D.C., it's all designed to give them power. The temple is all just a giant ritual. It's like a lot of things that are being, regular people are going to notice it, but it's not always going to be that clear and cut dry. A lot of the downtowns of cities are elite controlled, at least through the banking system and the grid there. So yeah, if you see like a giant spider in your mind and all that, that's a good thing. So I know this came out of nowhere, but it's just seeing things a little bit differently as the positive timeline comes in, more of these people will be seen. So all right, I've been trying to figure out how I'm gonna go about this. The Khazarians, I'll bring them in. I know they're bad, but we'll just bring it more neutral energy to heal it. This is all about healing. It's not about spooking people out or anything like that. And this is about, I mean, you got to talk about this stuff. I mean, you keep running away from everything. How are you going to heal it and move forward? So obviously something to talk about and manipulate the hell out of it. But either way, it's about us, upgrading ourselves. So bring it all to light. So yeah, one day at a time. So the Khazarians, okay, I'll do what I can with them. Not all of them are bad. They're just trained that way, designed by Anunnaki beings, but rogue ones, not the positive. There are positive timelines. The positive Anunnaki in the past, but it's just not mentioned for various reasons. So, okay. Khazarians and we'll see how it goes. So, all right, blessings. Greetings, we are the Khazarians. Yes, we have a monopoly on your world. It's up to you to figure out how we map your planet. Even the continents we play a big role in. Well, we get people to do what we want them to do. Through money, through power, through some kind of influence. It's like people are the instrument of the elites. Now, not all people, but those that you are aware of. And paying someone off is very easy. Of course, we take their soul at the same time. Well, those celebrities are trapped here. They are suffering. Some are Britney Spears is kind of trying to break out, but not fully. She still doesn't know what she's doing with herself. Not realizing she probably should live on another planet at this point. Because you go against the elite, obviously they'll make it easy for you. Where there's no way to escape the planet. Yes, you can astrally, but you're still here. So the Khazarians, yes, just basically don't want humans to figure themselves out. Want to totally blind humanity, as they've been doing. But also to interject blindness, which is fear. You can say a fear toxin throughout everything. Khazarian life is take what is easy to be taken. Use the stock market to distract as souls are being taken over, manipulated. Now, some are finding themselves. This is not easy. Your alien energy, some of it is there to actually bring confusion. A lot of it is there to bring enlightenment, but also some things want to cause confusion on multiple levels. Such as the Star of David has been manipulated a lot. Star of David has unnatural abilities, meaning that it's not so revealing itself completely at this time. The Khazarians were given power because they're Atlantean connected, but it has a lot to do with just taking the power over people. They know how to run people. They've learned it from other worlds, other realities, and this one made it easy for them. So, of course, they're going to hijack everything. The media, films, and all of that. To show the universe was charged. I mean, they are allowed to do this. A lot of worlds aren't allowed this type of this to happen. Well, Mother Earth allows this to happen. Obviously, she doesn't have full power. Other beings are allowing her to do it too. even as we're speaking, it gets blocked. Yes, we just got blocked. As we're going into that. Yes. So, without being blocked, yes, the human race is slowly being upgraded, but also downgraded due to uh, materialism, but also false spirituality. And yes, many Khazarians get highs off of people worshiping God because a lot of the Khazarians feel like they're God. So they're putting the gospel out, they're absorbing all that energy into themselves, which causes a lot of disconnect from the soul. Well, it isn't connect, but it's not the same as most people. It's basically, it's like we have all this power. Who can we control with it? So many of you in your development is here to heal that aspect. Some of you have lifetimes in this race for the positive, to build, create, but others are there to destruct. Yes, the founding of the Nazi Party comes from the Khazarians. Because of magic, yes, very deep esoteric magic. So magic. One moment. Your occult energies, yes, is Agartha is really allowing it to be seen. So that's the war, is unlocking more of yourself. But where are these symbols and all of this coming from? So a lot of it's coming from your elves and your yes, which who have power themselves. They're watching the best they can. They can't do too much here. A lot of them like to interfere with the earth more than anything. Because Khazarian law is here, basically to snatch the energy of any child born into this earth. We're here to reflect that back. But Khazarians basically feel like they're an upper level of human, and they're always a step ahead of humanity, even though they aren't always. But they have vices and all that, but they have not fallen into it completely as humans have, because humans are taught to just destroy themselves. Yeah, thank the Khazarians for that. What's this? Brings to you, we have the Arcturians. Why these groups even exist? Well, yeah, some of them force themselves here, but also it's for the human race to unravel itself from all these timelines. It's like the world is being suffocated slightly due to all this manipulation here. Even those that have a good intention have trouble getting their word out to the world. But these elite families, yes, are born by power hungry Atlantis, but Atlantis is still growing within itself. I mean, it might not be here physically, but it's still trying to trying to get itself out of this situation. Some of you might feel Atlantean beings, but also that you're freeing them from the earth. There's still a lot of trapped souls here. The trapped souls here created religions and manipulations. Not in all things. A lot of the positive Atlantean energy is part of, yes, healing the disease, but in a way that makes perfect sense. Also to bring more positive karma to your doctors at this time. Time traveling energies is usually seen from the higher dimensions, but some can lower their frequencies and just manipulate it. Just like that. And that would become more clear over time, but not as of yet. Yes, your Disney, your theme parks, all Khazarian hypnotism energies to, yes, pull you away from yourself once again. Well, yeah, is that humans are just a number and they can control that number. There is another being here. Yes, I wish to speak blessings to you. Greetings. We are the Dragon Collective. Well, there, from our perspective, why your world is the way it is many rogue wizards came into your reality and did whatever they wish and keep themselves hidden, of course. A lot of them are weak, so a lot of them are deteriorating with their own health because they poor choices, you can say. So you're going into a time of awareness, unlike anything before. Healing these timelines. Well, unraveling these Khazarian energies, unraveling all of this. The Phoenicians are very materialistic. So you see the large houses, the yacht, and all that. That's Phoenician connection. Well, some of them feel like they're a wider frequency, sort of. A lot of them are not, but they just like the material frequencies of the world. Yes, they shut the world down and yes, have a party where they are protected and do it. And notice all these elites, they have these parties and all that. They're usually, it's unusual. Like why have all this money where one person cannot? Yes, because it's the elite also hiding themselves. The elites do funnel money through actors and all that to fund other projects and things like that. So if you have an actor that's broke, most likely not entirely, but some of them are being manipulated here on multiple levels. The Khazarian way is basically yes to hold humans hostage. Well, because they were denied power, they were denied, godlike status. Yes, they could have been a god here, but they really wanted to be remembered here. But that was stopped. There are other beings here, so we'll go into that. Blessings. Greetings. I am the higher self of the earth, a higher self of Mother Earth. Yes, realize, yes, humans don't always want to, yes, hear the truth of your reality, such as, yes, ancient ones that caused great problems to the earth and still did throughout their incarnations here. Find it so easy to hide. You think some of them would be very powerful, and they are, but they still have a lot of weaknesses. Well, wizards are trying to control your reality. Obviously, are not taken seriously, but some of them can't shift out of this reality. They know how to control the timelines. Let's put it that way. So many of you are upgrading yourself is to heal that energy field of controlling timelines. And you'd be surprised how many some of you have been affected by it. Well, they have the timeline of just the normalcy of reality. What is the version of normal? And then, of course, they take advantage of it. So they have the blueprint of shutting people down, as you can see, which is also connected to Mars, which Mars was hijacked on many different levels. Well, you can say Mars is like your early Atlantis. And then those Martians went into Atlantis and kind of overdid it there. There is, yes, Nazis on Mars, but Mars has its own consciousness. It can clear out the Nazi energy very easily. Obviously, many are still going through it to their soul growth, so it's hands off, at least for right now. One moment. Even your Yeshua, of course, was programmed. Of course, not everybody agrees with that, but there was a programming there. The Phoenicians are very much part of, yes, the execution of Jesus. Of course, depending on what timeline you are believing. Khazarians are more like part of the scientific energies of your earth. Yes, hidden, but if you've, yes, a hint of their existence, but they don't really want you to connect with them. But if you must, they feel people aren't going to realize what they truly are. So some of you would connect to the Khazarians and say, I want to see them in my reality. And be careful what you wish for. You might feel a wizard energy in your room. Yes, they can be that powerful. You can't just have this anyone here to assist you. It has to be those that are truly going to be faithful to your experience. Sometimes neighbors aren't always easy to connect with. The Phoenicians were chosen for basically, yes, the sellouts of Atlantis. But they were going around before Atlantis was even taken down. It became more Phoenician, actually, than Khazarian. Khazarians more out into the countries and all that, in secret societies. Phoenicians are more, a different energy altogether, as you can tell. Well, as we speak about it, we get blocked. We got another. Yes. That seems to be very common when connected to these beings. Well, because they have, once you remove the fear of these beings, you can connect to where they come from. A lot of them do come from Sirius. For some of you that love Sirius, that might be a little bit below for you. But there are worlds that are test worlds. Maybe not as difficult, but a lot of this Phoenician and Khazarian energies comes from there. For various different reasons. Yes, you own the planet, own your planet. There is a price tag on it. It's more of an energy exchange. So for these energies connected to them, realize that the Martian influence is very heavy, very toxic. Turns one's person minds around. They're trying to create a hive mind so they can, of the earth, a true hive mind. Like, and it's already happening, you could say, to a certain extent, where humans are giving their power away, and that is their idea, the elite's idea of, connecting, you could say. What's this?